Hey guys, and welcome to Love What Luck. I'm back after a week off. I had a week off last week. It was a bit of a manic week. If you follow me on Instagram at @CityMoppy, you would have seen that I went to Naples for the weekend randomly with Lucy, who was on the last episode with me, and Biddy.
I can't believe you're going into your week and you've not introduced me. I'm back! The guy on the... I'm here also.
Dude, honestly,
absolutely mugged me off.
Every time I ask you on, you just gotta take the limelight.
No, it's not.
You are. Every week you're like, oh, the podcast, no, I don't want to come on it. And as soon as that camera goes on, you just want to be centre stage. The Leo inside you comes out. I'm saying, I was going to introduce you, but I was just saying my image.
Yeah, but you meant to introduce your guest straight away unless I'm off camera, right? Because if I'm here, that's okay. But no, I'm saying like, well, she's going through a week, like. Just like, I've heard it all before. What are you doing with the mic?
It's so loud, you're going to deafen people.
Okay.
The mic over there. Okay, well, as you know, I've got a guest on with me this week.
See?
Matthew James Gregwell. Welcome, babe.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm here. I'm back. So I went to...
You went to Munich.
I did go to Munich.
And I went to Naples. And I mean, it's not an excuse, but it was just a bit of a manic week. It's been a bit of a manic week, really, isn't it?
Yes.
And I was barred for 2 days as well, and yeah, I had a week off, but I'm
just
back.
so you know, no one knows what barred is. She was ill. She was ill. I was barred.
I know. Do you know what? I said that in work the other day. Somebody was telling me they had COVID, and I was like, oh, were you barred? Sick. But it's just like, sick is really unnatural to me. And do you know what? I'm just sick of losing my Welsh slang, to be honest. And having to mould it to please other people and to make sense to other people. No one knows what a bard is, because people don't say, yeah, well, I'm going to educate you all. Bard means sick and well. Were we talking about it the other day?
Yeah, because we were saying bard, scram.
Oh yeah, we were on about if we had kids, like what their accent's going to be like and more lingo they would pick up, and you were saying all my words. Yeah, scram. Have I mentioned this on the podcast before?
It means scratch.
I never knew scram was Welsh.
Snobs means bogies. Like, none of this actually makes any sense.
I just always thought snob and scram were English.
What other things are on there?
I don't know, you took the piss the other day because I said we need cloths. And he was like, what the hell? And I was like, cloths? To wipe the kitchen with? And he's like, cloths?
Cloths?
And honestly, it was like my whole world shattered, because I heard my mother call them cloths since I was younger. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody say the word cloths before. Like cloth, wherever. People just don't use those terms. Like, nobody says that word. And it was like my whole life, it was like I'd come to light, and I was like, oh my god, it actually makes sense, there's cloths. It does make sense. Yeah, that was quite mind-blowing.
So it's cloths, tampin, which means angry.
Yeah, people know that.
No, they don't.
I don't say
not outside of Wales.
No, because tampin now has become, you know, like a thing that people say to like take the mick out of Welsh people.
Do they?
Yeah.
Don't think they do.
Is that a yawn?
It wasn't. Why every time on this?
That's your one that just slipped up to your mouth.
This made me nervous, and it wasn't a yawn. It wasn't a yawn.
Oh, so you get nervous. Obviously we've lost track of what we were saying.
Yes.
But I think.
No, it was just saying that we had a busy week.
Yeah, I wasn't well. That was it. And I missed a week, but I'm back, and I don't know how I've got you on this week. There wasn't even really a reason, was it? No. I think.
You needed your viewers and your you just need the views to go back up. It's okay. It's okay. You can bring me back in. I'll shoot you back up.
Excuse me, I've had my first solo video hit 1 million views now, and I was by myself. I did that thing all by myself, baby. But I love having you on. Oh, sorry. It just did this willy. Sorry.
Why on the bell?
Oh, don't. Not again with that word, please. on my podcast. You know, I put it on Facebook, the full version, because I was like, Facebook's not going to ban me, I don't think.
What did you put on the scrotum?
No!
Oh, right.
Nobody knows about that. I know I'm gonna carry on about that. No, when you said the word bell end, on Instagram I cut that whole part, so I was like, oh, Instagram's a bit funny. And on Facebook I just put the full clip on. I think it had like 10k, nobody pulled me up on it, so that was nice. I just asterisked the word, but obviously didn't mute you saying it.
You can say bell, I think.
You can say bell, yeah.
Okay, so you went to Naples and you had a bad week.
Yeah, we had a fun weekend in Naples. Guys, do you know what? I would recommend anybody to just book and go away with your friends. I found out on Thursday, I was hungover from going to see Kendrick Lamar. I was in work, Lucy was like, I'll get your flights, because she's the air hostess, as you know, come to Naples with us. And I was like, do you know what, yeah, 2 days notice, wasn't it? Booked, cheap as chips, no pressure, no like stressing about outfits, packed my case and just went Saturday to Monday morning, didn't take any annual leave and just had the most fun. I would recommend it to anyone. Like people have been saying that lately, haven't they? Like the money you spend in London going out for a dinner, you might as well book a cheap flight somewhere, and I very much recommend it. We went to Julia Roberts' pizza restaurant from Eat Pray Love. Like the exact restaurant, we sat at the exact table and I ate the exact pizza and I was like, this is life. And Matt went to Munich to see NFL.
I did, and I had the best time. We got to walk on the pitch.
Alright, it's not a competition.
No,
right?
We just got to walk on the pitch and that was like, well, yeah, it was amazing. But the whole weekend was great.
Yeah.
It's good.
So, we weren't together last weekend.
No, but this last weekend.
I know, that was the weekend. Yeah.
This last weekend we were.
Last weekend we were together. It was nice, wasn't it? We had a full weekend together. We did pizza making.
Yeah.
Which was fun. You were pizza one. I knew we would as well. You just got that jamminess around
artiste. I'm an artiste.
I just knew.
I know, it's because I thought it through. You know, I grated the parmesan.
Right.
You know, I just didn't put it on. I was tearing the mozzarella in the right way. I kneaded the dough properly. That like the fingers like really got in. So I just think that, you know, I YouTubed it as well, and I was.
Oh well, sorry. I don't think that was allowed.
Spin and stretch. You know, so that's.
Sounds like a Saturday night.
Sorry, Adele.
Okay, so that's it, I think.
Yeah. So what's the topic?
An intro.
What?
I know you're gonna yawn.
What's the topic?
So I thought this week, being as you're on, let's talk about Love Is Blind.
Okay.
Because I got Matthew into Love Is Blind. And I would say you were maybe a little reluctant at first, and I was like, no, you don't understand, you were going to love this. And you did, didn't you? We watched last season, didn't we, together?
Yeah, we did.
And I need him to watch the first season, which we will do. But we put the third one on, and oh my god, if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. It's better than the second, wasn't it? I thought. Yep. It was so good. And he got really into it, so I was like, we might as well come on and talk about it. I'm not going to talk about the show and the characters and whatever, like, just go and watch it. But the concept is crazy, isn't it? Yeah,
the concept is mental. Like, I think
so
that's why,
for anyone that doesn't know, we should explain. You have, I don't know how long, maybe 2 weeks in a pod, where you meet maybe 10 other people behind a wall.
Days, I'm just saying.
Okay, 10 days behind a wall. So you have essentially blind dates with, say, 10, 15, 20 people. A lot of people. You don't have your phones, you don't have any connection to the outside world. You just go in there and all you do is date people. And then at the end of the 10 days, you have to decide if you're going to propose to somebody. And it's only if you propose to that person you get out to the pods and you continue with the next stage. So they propose and then they meet each other for the first time and then they go straight into living together, straight into a holiday. Holiday.
A holiday.
I can't say say the word. Straight into, I was thinking of honeymoon, that's right.
Okay.
Straight into a holiday, and then they have to decide whether they get married at the end. But the whole thing is like 4 weeks long or something in it. So like you barely know this person. So the whole thing is, you know, they make a connection emotionally, and then can it withstand when you see them physically? That's like pretty much it, isn't it?
Yes, that's pretty much it. But it is the weirdest concept. And why would you get married to someone who you've just known? Although it has worked out.
It has worked out.
Did you say in season 1 someone had a baby and got married and they're still together?
I don't think they had a baby, but they're still together, Lauren and Cameron from season 1. And honestly, they are Love is Blind. Like, you'd never put them together. She said, like, I would never have gone for you. But I think with them, they didn't care how different they looked. And I think that's the thing. Like, one guy in it loved the girl, proposed to her, this big deep connection, came out, said he sent a picture of them to his friends, and his friends were like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like, she's not that hot. And that affected him, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I think you've got to be strong enough. Like, no shade to Cameron, you haven't seen him, but I know full well that she sent a picture and her friends were like, what the hell? But she obviously didn't care, and I think if you're that type of person, it's got more chance of working.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, do you think Love is Blind?
I'm too shallow. Oh, too shallow. No. Love is not blind. Like, how many, out of all those people that have been on there, so, I mean, some don't get chosen, but there is probably 20 of each, but, you know, men and women on it, and there's been 3 seasons, yeah?
Yeah.
So you've got to take into what's like 120 people on the show altogether. So, and how many people have stayed together?
Yeah.
Hardly any. But not just the ones that haven't got engaged, but also the people that have got engaged haven't stayed together. And
but not all of that's because of physical. Some of them were physical. Like last season we saw that. Some of them like, I don't actually fancy them. But some of them were just because they didn't get on that well. Because obviously you can connect with someone emotionally, but it was only for 10 days.
Yeah.
You know?
But you've got to think that when you're talking and after the show, when they kind of leave, seen each other and they go on holiday and all that stuff, a lot of the reasons why they break up isn't because they don't fancy them.
That's literally what I just said.
Yes, I know that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think that if they saw each other, it would take that element out, because you kind of, you see each other, like you just said with the Cam and whoever, she wouldn't have chosen him anyway. Then if she did fancy them and they got together, you kind of take that out. I just feel that.
Take what out?
As in like the dislike for certain elements of your relationship. I think that if you really fancy them as well, you kind of oversee some of the things that might annoy you and ick.
Yeah.
You know.
Is this a dig? We've just recorded each other's icks for TikTok and now he's throwing the word ick in front of me. I'm like,
no, but as in like certain things that like you know that might annoy you or whatever might be overseen because you actually fancy them. Where like, you know, in this one, I'm trying to think of who it might be. Oh, cool. Batiste and whatever she's called.
Nancy. Sweet Nancy.
he like, I don't think he really fancied her. Well, no, towards it, in the middle, he was kind of like, oh, I don't really fancy
Can I just say, this guy, right, if you haven't seen it, they connect on this deep emotional level, right? And then they all go out for a drink together, and one of the girls that he dated comes in, and obviously he hadn't seen her before, and he's like basically telling his girlfriend, his fiance, how much he fancies this other girl, and says she's a smoke show, and she's like a 10 out of 10. I would have been so seething, you wouldn't have heard from me again. If I sat here with a guy and he blatantly was telling me to my face that he fancied somebody else more than me, I'd be like, go with her then, mate. Go with her.
But
well, again, what are you doing with me?
But it's but that's the hard part, is that the concept of the show, they've not seen anybody else. If it was Love Island is very, very different. Because you've seen everybody else and you've kind of made that... They've made a connection, but it's through a wall. And now that they're seeing someone else, I mean, he shouldn't have come out and said,
yeah,
she's a 10 out of 10 and
you shouldn't
smoke.
have said, I fancy her so much more than you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then stay together. But he didn't, I don't think he really fancied her. And, you know, even though that they had this deep connection.
Okay, so if you went on and you had a deep connection with somebody, and then you saw them and like you really didn't fancy them.
You are throwing me under the bus here.
Would you still stay with them?
If I didn't fancy them but we had the really deep connection, I just don't think I would have a, like 10 days non-stop in when I was cringing on the couch watching it and I was going, oh, I love you so much, baby, and all this stuff. After 10 days, that's intense. Like, I think that's too much for some people. And so I think, yes, I could, like, if I didn't fancy them, it'd be gone.
Yeah, you wouldn't stay with them.
No. Would you? Don't do this for the viewers.
No, I would try it. I would try it. Obviously, to be engaged, I would have, you know, I'm talking you have a real strong connection with somebody. So I definitely would have tried it, but I don't think I would have done it long term, no. Okay,
so if you were on the show and you had a deep emotional connection with someone, and I know this is the concept of the show, but he said, will you marry me? Would you say yes?
Yeah. To get out of the pod, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You would marry someone off that basis?
Look, firstly, they don't marry from there. They get engaged.
They get engaged, but you would get engaged for that.
Yeah.
And then, if over the next...
follow your heart. If you make a deep connection with somebody, you just gotta go for it.
So, if that deep connection stayed, but you didn't really fancy them, but it was still a deep connection, would you marry them?
Oof.
I know we don't have a deep connection, by the way, because...
What?
Do we have a deep enough connection?
Yeah.
Good.
I just don't know. It honestly depends how buzzing I thought he was. And that's not calling him buzzing, that's just like in my eyes. I just don't know. It's very hard because you need everything, you do. And I know looks fade and all the rest of it, but you've got to be attracted to somebody. You've got to be. It's got to be there. Because so much other important stuff in a relationship comes from that attractiveness.
Like what?
Sex. You know, being able to... Well, alright, I know you can...
Thing?
No.
Sex?
No. I know... Right, generally, yeah, you need to be attracted to somebody to have good sex, yeah? Second thing that comes from it is feeling confident enough with the way that they look that you will take them to meet people. You might laugh, but, you know, if you're going out with somebody that you're, like, borderline embarrassed to be with, you're going to be super happy with them at home. You're not going to want to take for example, my work are doing a partners event tomorrow and I'm taking Matt and I'm really excited for you to come and, you know, for you to meet everybody. If you were an ogre, would I invite you? Probably not. Probably not.
And I thought I was the shallow one. My God. If you had been with your boyfriend that you loved but was butters, you wouldn't invite him to your party.
I don't think I would, no. Am I gonna get cancelled?
Yes.
I just couldn't handle
that video that hit 1 million views.
Oh, don't. I actually can't even make this into a reel because the hate I would get on Facebook would be another level. And it would go personal and people would call me ugly and then I would hurt my feelings. Oh no, I sound mean, but I'm sure people can understand what I mean.
I mean, I can. I'd do exactly the same.
No, do you know what? I just couldn't.
I wouldn't have got there in the first place.
It wouldn't even be the embarrassment. That isn't actually what I mean. What I wouldn't be able to handle is go in and like having people's opinions and thoughts and, oh my god, like what are you doing with him, and, or you know, somebody may be saying something bad about him. Like I would hate that, and I would hate to be like worried about that and thinking, and I hate that because you shouldn't care what people think, but I would care about that. So that's another thing. Another thing that it would affect is like for the same reason if you put them on Instagram or not, you know, you would never put them on Instagram, would you? And then that would affect their like self-esteem, and it would cause problems in the relationships. You have got to be attracted to them. Oh my god, is that really bad? Were you expecting any of that to come out my mouth?
No.
Well, no. Oh, it is. Do you know what though?
But
I've always gone for personality. Always.
I know,
but
since your exes.
You've seen one. You've seen one. And it was my worst one. And that's why I showed you.
Who was it?
I'm not saying. But I was still with him. That's what I mean. But I just, for long term, I wouldn't be. But I would still date.
Yeah.
So do you think if we were in the pods, as we are, our personalities, that we would connect and come out? Do you think you proposed to me? Not a good sign saying that.
No, I'm trying to say it in the right way. Yes, I would. No, you wouldn't.
Why?
If it was, obviously the girls don't propose to the guys, because traditionally it's not like that, and this is, you know, we're in a world of equality and everything should be the same.
Sorry, I literally said to you the other week, what would you do if I proposed to you? And you were like, I would say no.
I'd say no, without doubt.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that we're now in a world where women should be able to, but we're still doing TV shows where the guy has to propose.
Yeah, I know,
and it's not right, you know. But
not.
Anyway, we'll get onto that another time. I just don't. I think out of our personalities, if we both had a choice and we both, either one of us could propose, I would propose and you wouldn't.
What makes you say that then?
Because I think that your personality comes across a lot better than mine does, and I just think that, you know, one of your traits that I love is your personality, so I know that I would.
That's sweet.
So I know that I would have liked you in there, definitely. But me, I think, firstly, you don't like my accent. That's number one. Number two, you would, I don't think I would come across fun, you know, and energetic. And I'm quite opinionated, which some people wouldn't like.
Yeah, but also, you were still the same person that I was on a date with. What do you think if I went on a first date with you and you were this like opinionated, horrible person, that I would still be with you because I fancy you?
Yes, that's exactly what you just said.
No,
that's exactly what you just said.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you did.
No, it's not. I wouldn't stay with somebody only fancying them.
No,
never.
But the looks helps.
The looks help, but the personality. No, you've taken my words now and you're twisting them and you're taking them out of context. No, personality is always first.
Yeah.
You could be like, you know, so hot, and I could be like, I'm so excited to go on a date with you. And if we went on our first date and you said something like really rude, if you weren't a very nice person, if you were like sexist, I would never see you again. And I'd be like, well, that's a shame. I really fancied him, but oh my god, what a dick. And then, you know, the uglier your personality, I just wouldn't even fancy you anymore. So, no. You're trying to say you'd have a different personality without your looks. Like, you'd still be the same person, babe. And I would be able to get your fun side out.
Yeah, but I don't know if through a wall we would.
All you're saying is all you've got is your looks.
No, I'm not.
Nobody can look past your looks.
No, I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. I'm not getting hate mail on your Facebook.
Oh my god, I actually feel really guilty. It's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm also like
watch the comments roll in.
I'm not saying that everybody's ugly and I'm pretty. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, you know, I'm just being honest.
So I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that between a wall, potentially, if there was someone that was a bit more fun, like personality-wise, you would potentially prefer them. No. But you just don't know.
I just don't know, but I do, because The things I love about your personality, one of them, which I noticed straight away on the first date, is your family values and how close you are to your family. That's like one thing I love about you, that you speak to your parents every day. So, you know, you saying that in the pod, that would be like, doop, like a tick in my box. Doop. Doop. There's like a little scan in my shopping bag, you know?
Yeah.
So it'd be that. You would also make me laugh, and you would laugh at my jokes, which is also a point, but I think everybody would laugh at my jokes, isn't it? I'd get used to your accent. I think we'd come out together, for sure. Would you propose if you were on that show?
If I was on the show...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of have to, isn't it? Otherwise you wouldn't...
But the big question is when you got into the mix zone, you got everyone, you know, that first awkward meeting where they all come down as couples, and you get to see people that, you know, you've spoken to, or even someone's proposed to you, and someone that's really good looking that you vibed with, what would you do about it?
Well,
and you're still vibing, but you've picked someone and they're not quite as good looking as the person that you hit it off with and is really good looking, what would you do?
No, even if there was somebody like that I found more attractive, as long as I fancied the guy that I'd chosen and we vibed on the personality, I would still go with him. I wouldn't be like, oh, but I think might be a little bit hot, I'm gonna jump ship. Like, no, never.
Okay.
What about you?
No.
No, because as long as you're attracted to that person, then the personality thing is the most important. But that's what I mean, you just need to be attracted. I'm just going to
throw another little bit in. So after a while, that person that you were with was a bit of a dick. Like some of the things, like, were annoying you, or he said something about someone that you didn't really like. And he wasn't horrible, or, you know, you still vibed and, you know, you still fancied him, but there was some little bits that were starting to creep in. You were like, I probably couldn't marry him or whatever. And that guy that you every so often...
trying to ask me if I'm ever going to cheat on him in a roundabout way.
What would you do about it? You know, like this time they were in the pool and then Cole was a bit...
when cracks are starting to show.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, but I did kind of fancy you. What would, you know...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Just twisting it. Twisting the knife, aren't I?
You know, it's just, that's what you do when you date somebody, innit? If you're dating somebody and it's going really well, then great. But if there's
you're engaged.
Starts to show,
you're engaged.
I know, but it's in a TV show. you know.
So it's the marriage.
Real engagement. I don't think.
Or what if you got all the way to the end? Well, not all the way to the end because you already found out, but they had something that was like a religious belief that was different, and you had to become Jewish or Muslim, or
or do you
know
what's weird is straight away with them, like, no, I couldn't. But no, like, if you came to me now and was like, look, I'm converting to Judaism, I hope I've said that right, I really hope Judaism. All right.
Yeah.
I honestly think I would, for you. You know, like if you asked me in the right way and it just made sense and you were like, look, for us to get married, this is what you're going to have to do. As long as it wasn't like, you know, a religion or something that I was really against the values of it, I think I would do it for you.
Okay. That's good.
Okay, so what do you prefer about me? My looks or my personality?
Your personality. Because you're buzz. You're not really. I would say, if I can say, genuinely, wholeheartedly, if we were in there and I would pick you over with a screen, I would definitely have to say your personality first. I'd have to. But both. Like,
I'm just perfect. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, and no, I would definitely say both, but I think your personality wins, which is nice, because I think potentially in the past I haven't been with people like that.
Yeah, and also that's what gets you to stay with somebody. You know, especially now with the way people date. Obviously nobody dates like this, so it's all based on attractiveness, you know. You only date people you're attracted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the personality is the only thing that gets you to stay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's obviously a good thing. It's just unfortunate that I don't feel the same about you. So I don't know that.
So it'd be looks
Yeah.
over personality. Okay, what's?
I'm joking.
No,
I'm joking. Obviously personality.
No, I don't think so.
What?
So you think my personality is better than my looks?
I think they're the same.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you're really like portraying yourself as just like a good
No,
looking
I'm
person.
not. I'm not portraying
with
that.
nothing inside, and you're portraying me as like an okay looking person with a booming personality. You're insulting us both. I'm hot.
I know you are.
Fucking hell. Last time you come on.
Why?
My personality's carrying me through life. My looks just scraping the top. And
you said anything about scraping?
And you were just a good looking person with not a single cell inside you of soul, of personality, making me a shallow person. That's what you're portraying to my listeners.
I'm not. I think we're both perfect inside and out.
It's just mad that you don't think your personality is what's keeping me in the relationship.
No, it's not that. It's not that I think, oh my god, it's got to be my looks and my personality is like terrible. I don't know. I don't think that I've got like a really funny side, or do you know what I mean? I don't think that. Where you are really funny.
Yeah, but we always laugh together.
Yeah, I know we do. But I don't know. I just don't feel.
Also, a good personality doesn't just mean funny.
No, it's everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, like
Kindness,
good morals,
values, thoughtful, considerate. You know, everything else.
So I'm all of those.
Yeah.
That's nice.
All I've taken from this is that you don't fancy me that much.
Where have you got that from? I'm never coming on this podcast.
Because you said you prefer my personality, but if you'd said you prefer my looks, I'd be like, oh well, that's shit.
Yeah,
there's
no winner.
There's no winner. Okay.
So when like you're in the Love Is Blind pod and you get engaged, and you have to like come and there's two sliding doors and you stand like apart from each other and the doors come open and you see the love of your life for the first time, but they're absolutely butters. Like I'm talking, you know, like
One tough.
Yeah, and like, you know, just not nice at all. What would you do? What would your reaction be? And how would you try and play it off? And, you know, because at that point you're meant to run together into each other's arms and get swung round and potentially get on their knee and give you the ring, and then you've got to kiss them, but they've only got like one tooth, and like...
My first thing would be don't look them in the eye. I wouldn't be able to look them in the eye.
What if the eyes are like that?
I wouldn't be able to look them in the eye, and I would just keep repeating, oh my god, and kiss on the cheek like an awkward one. And I'm such an awkward person when I'm out of like my comfort zone or anything like that. I can't hide it. My whole body would tense up, I already know. I would be tense, hunched over. I would be like Mr. Burns, and I like wouldn't be able to look at him. I could just picture
What if he looked like Mr. Burns?
Yeah, oh my god. And I would just be like, how are you gonna get out of this without looking like a dick? I mean, I've done it to myself here on the podcast, so. Which is so stupid, because if you ask any of my friends, you would never call me shallow, because I always go for a guy after their personality first. Always. Always. I just don't stay with them long term. What would you do?
And they were...
You'd be like, Bye. He wouldn't even try.
As the door came open and it just came past my face and it only got to one and I saw, I grabbed that side and just pushed it back across and just imagined that he never really saw me.
Okay, no. What if you met exactly my personality? My personality exactly, even my accent, literally me. But then the doors open and there was a girl that you didn't fancy, that like you didn't fancy really, but she wasn't better. She was just like, she was okay.
Yeah.
You know, like she was okay. And that's how you describe her, she's okay. But she had my personality. What would you do?
Yeah, definitely.
You did?
Like, yeah, I'd date and see. But I think if there's no like, if there's something off in the looks, you would kind of like pick up things that you potentially didn't like. Do you know what I mean? And you would let them like kind of seep in.
Yeah.
Whereas if you really fancied them and like there was a massive sexual connection and your personality was really good and those things still came in that might genuinely annoy you, you would kind of push them away because there's other things to kind of, you know, better the situation. But if she was like not that hot, but then she did something that really annoyed you, you'd be like, I don't need to put up with this. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what you would.
It wouldn't be long term then, essentially.
No.
It's hard, isn't it? It's really hard to meet somebody, honestly. And
yeah.
But that as everything, like you're attracted to, that you have chemistry with, that has the same values, that makes you laugh, like
you said earlier, the worst part is now everybody is dating for looks,
just
really,
looks,
because that's how they meet. So that's the hard bit. So that's our day and age, you know. If you were single ever again, would you go on Love Is Blind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you?
I don't think so, no.
I would. I think of it like, obviously I love everything about love and dating. I would love the experiment to see if I could do it. Although, you know, I think I've already had that where I had, you know, I've been with somebody that I knew personality wise was a really good fit, but you know, just some superficial things didn't quite match up. I'm gonna cut that out, don't I? Okay, so to round up, we'll finish off with a story that I got sent today, actually, this morning.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
She messaged me and just said, I've got a really messed up relationship breakup. I was like, oh, okay, please share. So, I've been with a guy 11 years. 5 years in, he cheated on me with 2 women for around 3 years. One being his ex, the other was meant to have been a friend of mine. I found out and we broke up, however I forgave him and got back. About 1.5 years later, he proposed. 6 months after the proposal, he randomly said, I don't love you anymore. Broke up for 6 weeks. I'm already lost. To get back together. Now we've broken up 2 days after our engagement anniversary. To top it off, we broke up around my birthday, where I wanted to go to the cinema and we'd planned it for 2 weeks prior, only to get to the day before and have him say I've no money, etc. So I paid for the cinema and dinner out on their own birthday.
Well done.
Scandalous.
Well, it's good that she can just do that for herself, you know?
Oh, it is, babe. Well done.
More power to the people, you know?
It is.
You know, she didn't want
But
to...
still, that's like, you took me to Harrods tea for my 30th. Imagine at the end, you're like, okay then, you're going to pay? I'm like, sorry, I didn't choose to come to Harrods for my birthday. I found out he was cheating through walking into a call at work where he said, I love you. I asked him, who do you love? He said, we'll say Bob. He said Bob. I was like, nope, you're not doing this again. I snatched the phone and rang the last number back, and a girl picked up and tells me she's been his girlfriend for the last 1.5 years. She also told me that she had been taken out to dinner 2 days before my birthday. On my birthday, I wanted to go to cinema and we planned a cinema and dinner night out, and then we got to the day and he told me he didn't have any money, so I paid for him myself. So essentially, he spent the money on the girl he was cheating with. He was gaslighting me so bad, it's ridiculous. And then she sent me like a lot of messages which I'm not going to read out, but the audacity. But I just think there's forgiveness in it. There's taking people back for cheating, and then there's people taking the piss.
Yeah, I mean, he was blatantly taking the piss.
Horrible piss.
He was dating 2 women, one being his ex, and for a long period of time as well.
I don't know how anybody can have an affair for 1.5 years.
That's intense.
That would kill me off.
Yeah.
You would know. Imagine.
Oh, you would definitely know.
Imagine me trying to have an affair for 1.5 years.
I'd know from you.
I know. I would just crumble. Imagine. You'd be like, where have we been? Oh my god, I've been cheated on. No, I could, 1.5 years, I couldn't do it. Could you? Could you?
1.5 years, I couldn't do it. But 2 weeks, every single night.
Yeah, I reckon I could probably get away
Get
with
in,
it.
get out, I do. Get home, shower.
No. Could you?
What?
Do you have an affair for 1.5 years?
No.
Tell me now.
Tell me now. No, I couldn't do that. You'd know.
Yeah, it's like psycho.
I don't have the time. At what point? It's time to see you most of the
I
time.
know. You've got to be like psychotic though, I think, to pull something like that off. And also, why did you propose to her?
Yeah.
Why do people proposing to people now when they're having affairs? I see this on TikTok all the time, like what my ex did whilst cheating on me. Some of them get tattoos, they propose, send flowers every week. As I was reading, I was like, okay, well maybe I should be grateful that Matt doesn't do any of these nice things to me, because it probably means he's not cheating on me.
That's a complete lie. I don't have any tattoos, so I've not got your name tattooed on me.
Yet.
I'm joking.
I'm joking. If any of his family are listening, I don't want him to.
I buy you flowers.
You do buy me flowers.
So this is a compliment.
After you've cheated.
She's got me.
Yeah, no, you do. I know. I was just joking, babe.
Good.
Okay, well, I think that's it. We said we'd be 20 minutes. We've been 40. We just love it, didn't we?
Yep. It's a good episode. You know?
Always. Guys, come and follow me at Sadie Maltby, and please follow me on Spotify. It's my most exciting thing, as you know, I say every time. When I go on it and I see extra followers, it just makes me really happy. So yeah, come and follow me, and let me know if you want me to talk about anything. Obviously, send me your stories, because yeah, they make my day when I get them. And thank you, babe, for coming on.
It's alright. You know, I listen to podcasts all the time, and at the end, normally the host of the podcast just says, where can people find you? You know, well, I'm here. I'm not going to plug myself. You don't need to. I'm always there. Find me at Sadie Maltby.
Find me at Sadie Maltby. You've got a private Instagram.
Oh yeah, I've not thought about that.
Like, and one time you had a request from somebody that I know, and you were like, what's this? And I'm like, oh, it's my cousin. Oh, right, okay. You're not a bit business like happy-go-lucky with them, are you?
True.
Or are you now? I don't know.
No. At Sadie Maltby.
At Sadie Maltby. Just come find me and you'll find him at some point, I'm sure. Never too far away from me. Lurking in the shadows.
And when we're coming back on?
Next month for the end of year review. Yes, we do.
An end of year review. We're going to set up at either end of the table. I'm going to wear a suit and
we'll just see how each other's performances have gone over the last year.
Yeah, see how you perform. End of year review for moving in, not our relationship. Our relationship's May.
Yeah. I remember, yes.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't.
You didn't even know how long we've been together. 18 months now.
Well, that's only because I have to count how far from May to December on my hands. I can't just like, I don't know that. I've got May, June, July, August, November, December. Okay, let's stop talking then.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks.